I was gonna shift the conversation and ask about your Instagram live show that you've been doing
Yeah.
and get some
Yeah, I used to. Yeah.
that you were doing.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start that, and then how'd you keep it going, and what were some of the great moments from it?
So I haven't done it since COVID because it was really, I mean, I had nothing to do during COVID, really. It was like everybody, so we're all sitting around. The audience is certainly, all doing the same thing, which is in and of itself very rare, right? Everyone was on the same page for the most part, unless you were a healthcare worker or somebody better than we are. So if we were just sitting on our asses, well, I just, thought it would be nice to do something different. And it came really out of a feeling of privilege. I felt fortunate that I was getting great advice early on. And I mean, early on, like the day the NBA shut down, I called my doctor, and my doctor answered the phone, and he told me what he felt was going on. And it calmed me down at the very least. And continuously I would ask him questions because there were so many rumors and so many things. And I had a friend that was sick and sadly died of COVID or the complications of COVID. And when that happened, he was about my age. It was so scary because I was like, well, he was healthier than me for sure, and about the same age. And I just felt doomed. So I was like, maybe it would be nice to share with my doctor the world, like let him speak about very typical questions that I, like everyone, had, and let him answer them on my Instagram live. It wasn't necessary to create a show, but it got a really good reaction. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe beyond just health, there's a lot of problems in our industry about real estate and paying rent, and you're closed by the government, but yet your landlords are coming after you. And not everyone necessarily was getting great education or advice like I was. So I thought it would be nice to put a very competent lawyer on my Instagram live to discuss questions and answers of what I thought everybody would be thinking and need the answer to from someone who was very high up in his profession in the legal aspect of it. But I also saw that there was some boringness to it. So I was like, you know what, let me mix in something fun. So I called Reggie Miller. It was my first person. I was like, Reggie, I'm doing this Instagram live, 30 minutes with the lawyer. Then I want to do 30 minutes with you. So I'll get probably more people to watch, what a concept. So he agreed, of course, because like me, no one was doing anything. So you can get anybody to do anything with you for 30 minutes or an hour during COVID. Everyone was sitting at home. It was just Instagram live. So after I did that, I asked Reggie, after Reggie, I asked Jamie Foxx and then Chris Rock and Zach Braff and Jason Derulo and Michael Rubin and talk about business stuff. And there was a candidate running for mayor. I had him come on, just anybody that wanted to talk about. But here's the thing. It was just purely, I called it catching up with Mark Birnbaum, me. Catch being, the cleverness of catch. Okay, so catching up. And it was that's all it was meant to be, a pure catch up with people that I knew or didn't know as well as some, but some I knew very well, to find out what they've been up to during COVID, what they felt about it, how it affected them and their family and their career, and what they think is next, where's the opportunities, you know what I mean? And a lot of people, as you start talking to them, looked at COVID as, although a dark time, a very enlightening time to spend more time with their friends and family at home and have like a total change of point of view of how they wanted to live their lives post-COVID, not sitting in traffic for hours, not traveling as much, whatever. But just having these conversations with people was amazing because it was such a weird time, and getting very prominent people, obviously, to talk about some of their history of life and how they got there and what they were doing, but really what was going on in their personal life now. Some were like, I'm writing scripts. Some are like, I'm about to have the best ideas and I've got time to create. And, it was very cool. And then with Michael K. Williams, who was a very old friend of mine, I did 2 hours with him, and it was recorded, thankfully. And sadly, he died of an overdose 6 weeks after I did that interview. And, it was almost like in my last conversation, I got to ask him all the things I always wanted to ask him if I hadn't asked him. And he got to tell stories that he would always tell me that now the world can hear, whether it was how he got the scar down his face or whatever. But you never know. So it was actually really fulfilling. I never did anything with it. beyond that, which, maybe is a mistake. But it was fun. I love doing it. I just like talking to people, obviously. I mean, I'm in the business of chit chat over restaurant dinners.
I mean, it's definitely not too late to do anything with that. If you ever wanted to, we're definitely big fans of that. Obviously, we have our podcast and we enjoy talking to people as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty cool that you did that and we're able to kind of have fun with it and get some great moments out of it. And I think you should keep going, man.
Yeah, no, it's just, it's such a saturated, I mean, you're doing this and it's great, but that dude with the sign said it best, like, who has time to listen to all these podcasts, right? Like, I'm dying to listen to one with your dad because he's, an idol of mine, and I still haven't gotten to it. I mean, it just came out.
It's around, it's only been like a week.
But I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but like that there's only so much time in the day and then to do it. And, it's I always loved Howard Stern and what he does, just chit chat to everybody all day long. And it's great.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Thank you for watching Studio 22.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And follow our socials at Studio 22 Podcast.